Good morning, park managers, and welcome back to Jurassic World Evolution 2, where we are going to be making the start of the brand new Community Park 9.0. And basically, I kind of slightly changed the submission, which was for one of the enclosures, and made it into the general sort of build of the entire park. So Clever Bunny Company was asking if it'd be cool to have like a swampy area on the new island, and I sort of played on that because I hadn't chosen that I was going to make an island at first, but if you do watch my channel then you'll know that I do enjoy making islands. So I thought maybe make a swamp all the way around and have like an island in the middle, so it's just a massive bit of dry area completely surrounded by swamp. And then they also wanted baryonyx or dimetrodon, and I thought why not add both? It'd be kind of cool seeing this sort of like wild swamp growing around the island with these creatures roaming free and wild around. And then obviously around the island I can add different viewing points into this swampy area, and I just feel like it just adds something a little bit different and would look really cool. So yeah, that's what I've gone and done. I filled the entire bit with water at first, so I had a good idea, and then I had my land in the middle, which I raised up a wee bit just so it makes it more believable that this is a really dry area where you can actually build things on. Did a slight sand beach all the way around, and then on the hilly bit to make it look more cliff-like and more sturdy, I'd used rock. Eventually I probably will go around adding lots of rocks onto it, but I'm not too sure yet because I don't know how much it will take up on the island, especially if I'm adding loads of custom enclosures and things like this. It might make it laggy with it being quite a big map, so we'll get to that when we get to that and see if we can or not. And it doesn't have to be many rocks anyways, it just adds something a little bit different. But as you can see, I've added basically a few plant brushes that give it that sort of swampy vibe. I also did the map on this taiga biome because I know a lot of people ask for snow enclosures, especially when I'm building on tropical islands where you can't have snow. So I thought I'd make the next community park in a place where I can have snow, so I can make snow domes for anyone that asks for like a snowy enclosure, because I know it gets asked a fair bit, to be honest, like the snow enclosure, that snow enclosure. So this time I'll be able to include those to the Community Park 9.0. And getting to a bit much the final part of it where I'm just adding trees everywhere. Like this particular tree from Jungle, it does to me have like a swampy vibe, and I kind of feel like it adds a fair bit to this build. And then shortly after I've gone around adding the large variant of this tree, I go around and sporadically add the smaller variant of that tree. And I'm going to keep this swamp nice and simple, mainly so we don't lose our creatures in there. Dimetrodon is pretty short. I might go back over some of the areas adding sand to get rid of a little bit of grass matter so we can see them a bit better, because later on when I go and get the shots of Dimetrodon, a lot of it is hidden in the plant matter that grows really tall. But that's something to do in the future. I'm not going to do it straight away. Around the island I start adding a fence so the guests are contained and safe from any wild Dimetrodon and also any wild baryonyx that are knocking about, because we don't want them to get harmed. I just make it quite simple. That area kept straight because that's where I'm going to be adding the way in there for the keepers if they need to get in there and do any sort of medical routine, things like that. Like I am building on sandbox, it's not necessary. I just add it there for a feature. And plus, occasionally I do like driving around on the jeeps in my park just for a little bit of fun, and so that just gives me access to that area there as well. I'm just building this staff area. I'm going to keep it somewhat simple, and I might go back to add a few more decorations in the end, but for now I'm just going to keep it nice and simple till I completely decide the sort of like theme of the island, or if any of you guys have like a suggestion for the theme as well. I didn't add a vet, which I probably should do. Just think, oh, like I said, it's sandbox, so I'm not going to get ill, but it kind of adds to the look having all these different vehicles and sort of buildings in the island itself. But yeah, as you can see, I'm making it nice and just nice, plain, simple, so I can add things to like later, add some lights to the corners where I can keep the dinosaurs when they're going to their enclosures. As well, add this sort of menu, like this area where you put the manure, so like a compost heap as it were. And then I had a few security cameras knocking about as well, just so that, you know, they can keep an eye on who's in there, if the staff or something's going wrong. A watchtower so they can look out at the wild baryonyx and dimetrodon that are in that vicinity, as well just a few shipping containers where the like things would be kept, like storage. Then I go on to doing a monorail all the way around the island, because something I noticed when I do these builds, because I don't add a transport system, a lot of people complain about there being like transport, so we'll make this a bit more of a parky park, as it were. So there'll be transportation, toilets, there'll be food, drink, like entertainment, merchandise, things like that knocking around the island just to keep the guests happy. I did leave it pretty plain, the entrance, because I haven't quite decided how I was going to do that. And as you can see here, I've got some of the baryonyx and dimetrodon already out and in this holding pen, which then I'll just open the gate and sort of release them to. This one is my favourite. I love the like line going down it, so I just called it Sonic, and I was like, yeah, I'm really enjoying that one. So I favourite it as well, just so I can see what it's doing every now and then. And then, yep, just open the gate and let those guys loose in that area so they sort of stay around. And then I've got a few in here, which I'm just going to quickly dot around the area, add a few more, so there's quite a variety knocking around. I noticed the baryonyx, especially in this area, have all stayed together, all 5 of them, I believe, and they haven't ventured off into different directions. Dimetrodon, on the other hand, have sort of like ventured off and stayed in their own little clusters of about 4 and 5 here and there as well, which is kind of interesting. There's only 1 or 2 that are now by themselves, and they've all like met up. But yeah, this is the start of Community Park 9.0. So in the comments below, let me know what dinosaur you'd like to have, the kind of enclosure you'd like to have it in. Do you want to give that dinosaur a name, a skin colour, a skin pattern? Just let me know in the comments and I'll get round to adding it. And as always, thank you for watching. Until next time, I'll see you later.